Chapter 12. "Where are we off to now, Mr. Swamper?" asked Jenny. She, Luke, and the Swamper were strolling down the streets of Tombstone, enjoying the sounds of laughter and piano music coming from the many saloons. It appeared to be a very cold night, since they could see the breath of the people they passed on the boardwalk. "Things are about to come to a head, as you say in your time," said the Swamper. "It's been 5 months since Marshal Williams told Ike Clinton he knew of his secret plan to help Wyatt Earp catch the stagecoach robbers. Ike's been living in fear ever since. He's terrified of what would happen to him if Curly Bill or Johnny Ringo were to hear of it, and lawlessness is becoming more of a problem in Tombstone. Johnny Behan just can't seem to get the job done." He stopped in front of the Alhambra Saloon. "We're going to eavesdrop while Wyatt and his brother Morgan have lunch." While Jenny passed through the swinging doors of the saloon, she echoed, "Lunch? But it's dark outside. What time is it anyway?" "Oh, it's probably about 11:30 or so at night," replied the Swamper. "At night?" asked Jenny. "Isn't that the wrong time for lunch?" The Swamper laughed. "In my time, Tombstone never sleeps. I suppose in a town like this you can have lunch any time you want. Here, let's take a seat near the bar so you can see what's going on." Wyatt and his brother seemed to be having a pleasant meal together. "Look over there," said the Swamper, pointing to a man with curly blonde hair and a blonde mustache and beard. "That's Ike Clinton. It was too dark in that alley for you to get a good look at him. And look who else just walked in, Doc Holliday himself." Luke and Jenny turned to see a pale, thin man with a mustache walk in. "That's Doc Holliday?" asked Luke. "Yep," said the Swamper. "But he's so thin. In the movies, he's always this great big guy," says Luke. "Why are people so afraid of him?" asked Jenny. "He doesn't look like he could hurt a fly." "Don't let looks deceive you, Jenny," said the Swamper. "It's because Doc is so frail and sick that he's become so tough and mean." Doc Holliday had spotted Ike Clinton. He got a cold, angry look in his eye as he walked up to Ike and shouted insults at him, calling Ike a liar, among other things. Wyatt Earp, who was still eating his lunch, turned to his brother. "Morgan, since you're Virgil's deputy, I think you better go over there and take care of that." Morgan slipped off his stool and approached Doc and Ike. He led Doc outside, but Ike followed, and the two kept arguing. "Let's go," said the Swamper. He motioned Luke and Jenny to follow. They saw Wyatt step outside just as Virgil arrived. "All right, that's enough out of both of you," Virgil Earp shouted. "Stop your quarreling now, or I'll take both of you to jail." Doc and Ike separated, each going his own way. "Good night, Virgil." "Wyatt," said Morgan, "I'm headed home. I'll see you two tomorrow." As Morgan walked away, Virgil told Wyatt, "I'm off to the Occidental Saloon." "And I've got to get back to the Eagle Brewery," said Wyatt. "I've got a faro game going there." "Faro?" asked Luke. "It's a card game, sort of like poker," explained the Swamper. "It was very popular in Tombstone." "Oh," said Luke. They watched as the two Earp brothers walked away. "Phew," said Jenny. "That was close." "It's not over, Jenny," said the Swamper. "In fact, it's only just begun. Look over there." He pointed down the street to the Eagle Brewery. "Come with me." As Luke, Jenny, and the Swamper approached the Eagle Brewery, they saw Wyatt step back outside. Ike Clinton came up to him. "Wyatt, would you mind taking a walk with me? I want to talk to you about something." "Sure, Ike," replied Wyatt, "but I can't go very far. I still have a faro game going." "I understand," said Ike. Luke, Jenny, and the Swamper walked behind Wyatt and Ike like shadows as they walked down Allen Street. Ike told Wyatt that when Doc Holliday approached him in the saloon, he said that all this fighting talk had gone on for far too long, and that it was time to put it to an end and have it out, man to man, once and for all. "I told him I wasn't interested in having a fight," said Ike, "but he walked off saying he'd be after me in the morning. So I decided to go over to the Oriental Saloon to have a drink. He followed me in with his 6-shooter and again told me not to think he wouldn't be after me in the morning. So Wyatt, I tell you what, I've had enough of this. I'm ready to fight him now." "Come on, Ike, I don't really think he wants to fight you," said Wyatt. "Why do I not believe that?" asked Jenny. "You're right, Jenny. Wyatt's just trying to calm Ike down," said the Swamper. Just then another man came up to speak to Wyatt. As he and Ike parted company and Wyatt headed for home for the night, the Swamper told Luke and Jenny they would walk around with Ike for a bit. "It sounds like he doesn't really want to fight," said Luke. "Maybe not," said the Swamper, "but you can bet he's really ticked off. I guess I would be too if someone were insulting me and making threats against me like Doc Holliday just did. After all, it's human nature to want to defend ourselves. Now you're about to see something really unbelievable considering everything that just happened. Look!" They watched Ike Clinton walk into the Occidental Saloon and sit down at a poker table with Virgil Earp, Johnny Behan, and 2 other men. The swamper pointed to one of the men. I don't know who that other fellow is, but that's Tom McGlory sitting right there. Remember, Tom and his brother Frank were part of the cowboy gang, and Frank was one of the 2 men Ike had with him when they made the secret deal with Wyatt. They'll spend the rest of the night drinking and playing poker, but tomorrow they'll meet again with a tragic outcome.